how do you view the Milky Way at night? Well, that might sound like an odd question because, as you probably know, we're in the Milky Way. So all you really need to do is look up. But it's not as simple as that. There's actually 3 things you need to consider if you want to have clear pictures of the Milky Way. Number 1 is the weather. If it's a cloudy night, you're not going to see clear images of the stars. That kind of goes without saying. But there's been times when I've gone out to shoot the Milky Way, just when I was first starting with photography. I thought, okay, good, there's no moon in the sky, I'll be able to see the Milky Way. And then I realized the reason there's no moon is because a cloud is blocking it. So you need to make sure you have clear weather. That's why it's often best to try and do this during summer months. And number 2, as I just mentioned, you need to consider the moon. So the moon goes in phases. It comes up and down just like how the tides change. It changes by an hour every single day. So you need to consider, where is the moon going to be? If the moon is out in the sky, well, believe it or not, that acts like a big light like this, and it's going to blow out the stars and you won't see hardly any at all. But there's an app for that. So an app I like to use is called Deluxe Moon, and it looks like this. And by moving, depending on the date, you'll be able to see when you have a new moon and how long the moon is going to be in the sky for. So I can see that on February the 18th, 2018, it's just past a new moon. The moon is going to rise at 8 in the morning and it's going to set at about 8 at night. So I know from 8 o'clock at night, there's not going to be a moon in the sky, which is perfect. It means that it's not going to get in my photos at all, and it's not going to blot out the stars. And the third thing you need to consider is the sun. So obviously we're not going to be shooting the Milky Way during the day, but did you know that it's not as simple as the sun setting and the sun rising? It actually goes through a few phases. And an app I like to use for this is called Sol, S-O-L, and it looks like this. And as you can see, it's going to show me different times of night. So we have daytime, afternoon, golden hour, which is the hour before the sun sets, civil dusk, nautical dusk, and astronomical dusk. So astronomical dusk today is about an hour and 40 minutes after the sun sets, but you won't see clear photos of the stars until after astronomical dusk has finished. You need to have total darkness, full darkness. And for that to work, you need to make sure that you check your app or whatever website that you like to use and make sure that the sun is not going to be blotting out the stars at all. So you need to consider the weather, whether the moon is going to be out, and on top of that, where the sun's going to be in the sky. And these things can often overlap for just very small windows. When I was shooting Yosemite Valley, I had just 45 minutes. I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. The moon had just set and I had 45 minutes until astronomical dawn, where the sun, even though it is hours away from actually coming over the horizon, it was going to start blotting out the stars. So with that in mind, I knew that I had to get to location, and I actually went to a couple different locations because I could plan for this. I could use the apps and know exactly where I needed to be. I knew that I had 45 minutes from the moon setting to astronomical dawn and I could go out and shoot. So you just need to be very aware that the sun will still affect your photos even at night. The moon is going to be acting like a big globe of light that is going to blot out the stars, and you're not going to see the stars if there's bad weather. Thanks very much for watching. That's just one of the 7 keys to mesmerizing Milky Way photography. If you'd like to see the other 6, go ahead and click on the link below this video and you'll be taken through to a page where you can watch the whole video. It's everything you'd want to know to get started right away with Milky Way photography. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the whole video.